and call you with some kind of tip or lead, that maybe they saw somebody stop in your yard that, they've never seen that car before, things like that.
And I think this is a good time to have me ask you about why it's not always a good thing to put a reward on a flyer. And then because I know when people lose their pet, they want to do that a lot of times. And, sadly, what has happened here a couple times, it's happened twice that I can think of right off the top of my head, where a pet was missing, and I think both times they were dogs. And, after a week or two went by, the owner asked, can we put reward on the flyer? And I try to explain to them why we don't, but they still wanted to, and so I did it. And then all of a sudden, there's the pet. As if whoever took it was basically holding it hostage, waiting to see if they would get a reward.
Right. And, so you're rewarding bad behavior, and you're encouraging somebody to do that again. That's our big thing. So we're trying to help a multitude of people. And a lot of people can't afford a reward. So now if you have somebody that gets an easy few bucks because they picked up a dog and then they got a reward for it, well, they're going to try it again, and then the next person might not have the money to pay a reward.
Yeah.
So, but really the thing is why, it's just like why we don't pay hostage money, or money to kidnappers for people, right? You don't want to reward bad behavior. And because it just encourages them to either hold out for more money or to do it to more people.
Yeah.
So, and plus it brings every scammer in the world out of the woodwork. And then the owner then spends their entire time dealing with the scammers and trying to determine if the person really does have their dog or if they don't have their dog. And it's just a big time waster. And when they really should be like flyering, and getting legitimate leads. But they will just be swamped with scammers.
Yeah. And talking of scammers, now everything you say is bringing up another point. We've had, and I don't know if it's happening where you are, but here in Florida, we've had that situation where as a new lost pet is being posted, the owners are sadly getting texts that I have your dog, the text where, can you meet me? You got to give me some money first type of situation. And so I guess this kind of falls into the pet theft awareness situation because it is a form of theft,
Right.
but they don't have your pet. And that's what people need to understand. And let's just quickly talk about the steps. If you got one of those scamming texts, what do you recommend people do?
So we recommend that they get the person to identify themselves with name, address, phone number, and then immediately hang up and then call them back. If generally if they legitimately have your pet, then they're not going to mind giving you that information. If they do have your pet, of course, you are going to want to meet them in a safe, secure location, and we always recommend going to the police station and meeting them in the parking lot of the police station and giving the police the heads up ahead of time that you're doing this. So, say somebody's coming to exchange, to pass off the pet that they found to me. I just want to let you know that I'm doing it in your parking lot for safety's sake. And would you be able to just keep an eye out, or you may even get them to have an officer come out there and be with you when the exchange happens. That would be ideal. But yeah, we had a cat one today, which just kind of made us laugh. It had been posted on Lost Cats in Wisconsin, and the owner knew right away it was a scam because the cat was already home and sitting on her lap. So she kind of strung the guy along a little bit, and he actually sent her a photoshopped picture of the cat on the table. And they taken the picture right off the flyer and then tried to put it on a table. It was a really bad Photoshop. And
Oh,
she was kind of funny. She was just like, yeah, that's not my cat. My cat's sitting on my lap. You know, should go get a, why don't you go get a real job and stop
yeah.
bothering people?
Oh, and people are so desperate for
Hmm.
word of their lost pet that they don't want to think that
Right.
somebody would lie about that, because what a cruel thing to
Yeah.
do. I mean, the woman that the
Yeah.
last time this happened, it was just last week, unfortunately. um she was just devastated that somebody would do something like that. But people need to understand that there are bad actors out there, and they
Yeah.
do try to prey on people in this emotional state.
Yes. And if there was no rewards, if there was no hope that anybody would ever get a reward, it would stop really quickly. And that's
Yeah.
really our big thing about rewards. But, and then of course with shy dogs, rewards encourage people to chase your dog, and that's the last thing in the world that we want to happen.
Hmm.
Because those dogs are then, very likely to get hit by a car. But, just if there was no rewards, there would be no scams.
Yeah.
And it's a huge time waster. I think on our part, the best thing that we can do is just, we try to educate the owners right away when they list with us. You're going to get these scam texts, so just
Hmm.
beware and don't fall for it.
Yeah.
Just block the number and move on.
Yeah.
And that I just kind of feel like that's how we got to hit that head on. There doesn't seem to be a real way to ever prosecute these scammers or anything.
Yeah. I know it's really difficult. I don't know if they use burners or whatever they do. Who knows? But it is
Yeah.
very difficult, because I always ask the people to give me the number, because I want to make sure that it isn't somebody in the group. I would hate to think that, but I do feel
Right.
people troll the big groups. I mean,
Yeah.
sadly, there's just people that do bad things, and
Yeah.
so you always have to be very proactive about things, and keep an open mind that not everybody's out there to help you. That's for sure.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
All right.
be aware of that area code or whatever else, that the one today with the cat. Well, the guy was from Maryland, and
Mm.
the cat was missing from Wisconsin, so it's
Jeez.
pretty obvious it wasn't the cat.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Kathy, could you take a moment and just tell everybody how to look up the information from Lost Dogs of America, because your webpage has so many important topics, and I know there's an article on there about pet theft and other things that we've talked about today that would be helpful for people to look at.
Yeah, absolutely. So our website is lostdogsofamerica.org. And we're also on Facebook, Lost Dogs of America, just really simple. And on our website, if you go to the right-hand side, I try to categorize the articles with some sort of organizational fashion. Not great, but I try. So like stolen dog strategies, that would be where you would see information about kind of what we've talked about today. Or there's a couple of articles on rewards. So those are in categories, and you can just click on those, and the article should pop up that you're
Yeah.
interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an important topic, and it's one that people need to understand. And I think, our interviews they go by so fast that there's so much more information, and your blog has a lot of good details and gets into it a lot deeper than we could in this short time that we talk. So again, everybody, that's lostdogsofamerica.org. And also Kathy is with the Lost Dogs of Wisconsin too, and that is a Facebook page, facebook.com/Find Fido is how you would look that up. Is there anything you'd like to add, Kathy, before we say goodbye?
Yeah, really quickly. Somebody messaged me the other day asking about research facilities. There was a couple of dogs missing in their area, close to a area that does some animal testing, and they thought, could those dogs have possibly ended up at that research facility?
Oh, wow.
And I said, no, not that we have ever heard, that we've never found that to be the case. That's kind of an urban myth.
Okay.
Research facilities want dogs bred specifically for research. A horrible topic. I don't want to get into that horrible thing, but it happens. But those dogs are bred genetically pure, specifically for research. They do not want random source dogs that are picked up off the street that may or may not be vaccinated, may or may not have genetic things going on. So I would say no. That's
Okay.
pretty much an urban legend.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. All right, everybody. I want to thank you, Kathy, and you'll be back with us next week to talk about another topic. And I look forward to talking to you next week. But for now, everybody, remember that a lost dog can't tell anyone where it lives. So please be sure they're microchipped and wearing their ID tags. And if they are chipped, be sure that chip is registered and up to date. Thanks for joining us today. And until next time, take care and keep your pets safe.